All right, you legends, good morning. I'm following up the last video I made. I got a bunch of direct messages from people. It went over really well. Did really well. There's a lot of views and people are very interested to share some of their thoughts. But I'm following up with this video to just kind of qualify, to follow up what I talked about in that video about buying the best thing you can afford to kind of save time. This video is about, just because something is expensive does not necessarily mean it's the best. I've got an example here. I just got back from getting some stuff from Harbor Freight. And I want to show you an example of what I'm talking about, and I will talk about other examples just about life in general. I am focusing on getting the shop very functional. Those of you who have seen my older videos, I don't know if you remember, I had a little table. There are a lot of pull-out drawers just sitting here taking up a lot of the bench space. And so, as I talked about in the other video, my goal has been to get things off the workspace and onto the wall space that I wasn't using. And as you can see, I'm getting there. I will make another video if you're interested in finding out how I'm making these decisions on where things go. Put it in the comment. I'll make another video about that because, as you can see, I've got some spaces here. This is a work in progress. Some of the other things I've ordered are coming in. I get most of the stuff made by Wall Control because they make the metal pegboards here, and so I'm getting their accessories. There are companies out there that will sell their stuff, like some of them have been, I guess, cosmetically, scratched or whatever. You can get discounts on there. I looked at that company and it was okay, but I like the service from these guys, and they're having a sale. So whenever they're having a sale, I kind of stock up on what I want to do, but I also have drawings that I do to decide where things are going to go, but they're not permanent. But things are placed based on how I use them. So if you're interested in that part of it, put a link put a comment in this video, and I will make a note to make a video about how you make decisions to how you lay out your workspace. And anybody can do this. It's not something that's special, and that's why I'm doing it, because the average person at home that's not necessarily running a shop still needs to be organized. And I have on the list to make a video about the benefits of being organized. That's another thing that saves you time. But today's video is about, don't necessarily go out, anything in life, don't necessarily go and buy something because it's the most expensive. You got to look at the function. I don't have the product here that I just returned. I had purchased a glove holder. When I say glove holder, let's see here, I got two of these today. This is what it looks like. This is from Harbor Freight. This is not the one I returned, of course. This is the one I just picked up. We have a local Harbor Freight about probably 15 minutes by car one way, close to where I live, and so I just went there. I usually look online first, make sure they have it in stock before I go. I don't like driving to stores to find out they don't have things. So I do a lot of my diligence online. If I can order it online, I will. But these guys being local, if you try to order it online, the delivery fees are more than what this thing costs. So it just makes sense to drive 15 minutes down and get everything you need. So I had a list when I walked in. I just got my stuff and got out. They tried to sell me a membership. They do that every time you walk in. I think it's ridiculous. And I just said, no, not interested, and I pay and leave. But anyhow, what I want to talk about is I had ordered a stainless steel, that's not this one. I ordered a stainless steel glove dispenser. Why do you need a glove dispenser? What I have found is that I have these gloves, and it's important. As you see here, this says safety station, and that's where all my gloves are. When I use these gloves, especially what I call the wet gloves, the nitrile glove, they have textures on there. I really like that. They last. I clean my hand before I take the glove off. I clean them with mineral spirits before I hang them on. I don't hang up gloves dirty. But I can reuse those gloves until they get punctured or whatever, and then I have to toss them. But they go a lot of uses. So I found that if these are not where I can easily get to them, there is a tendency to not necessarily grab a glove. So sometimes when these tear, You just rip them off, you toss them, and then you continue to work on the bike or whatever it is you're doing. So putting these where they're easily accessible encourages the use. And this is good for keeping your hands away from fluids. There are some things like mineral spirits that would dry out your skin. And a lot of times those little nicks that you get when you're wearing a glove, it does not occur on your skin, it occurs on the glove. So I love wearing gloves. These are my wet gloves. These are my regular gloves, which I don't use when I'm overhauling and dealing with a lot of oils. These are the same thing like regular. These are for summer. They're a lot lighter. They're high flex. They work really well. But anyhow, I bought the carrier that was stainless steel, cost about 2.5 times what these cost. These are like $15. I'm rounding up. The other ones are like almost $35, $40, but it was stainless steel. It looked really nice. And I ordered it on Amazon. It was made by a great vendor. I don't remember the name, but the reviews were great. Well, they showed up yesterday. And once I get stuff, if I have the time, as soon as I get them, I open them to check them to make sure they're going to suit the function. Because before I buy something, I know where it's going, what I'm going to use it for. That's just kind of the way I roll. They would not fit this box. And I did not want to take, they're not designed for you to take the gloves off, as you see here. You just put the box in there and you can pull the gloves out. These are magnetic, so these are much better in a lot of ways. I tried to put this box in the fancy one, did not fit. It would only fit these real thin boxes. Well, these little gloves, I brought these out on purpose. I don't use them much in the shop. These gloves are much thinner and they work, but they don't last. These are the gloves that I put in my cycling essentials kit when I ride. So when I'm repairing a tire on the road, my hands don't get filthy. But because they're so thin, they fold really small, so they're easy for that purpose. I just took the box out for this video because I normally don't keep them out. These I use from time to time. They don't have the texture. They're not as durable, but they work really well in the shop. So I wanted something that would work sometimes like these, but since these are the ones that I use all the time, I wanted them prominently displayed. They're gonna go in this corner. I don't know if the camera, I don't know if I set it to where, yeah, I guess it will. It's gonna go right here, right in this corner. You can see my dispenser here. It's made by Innova. I love this thing. I don't have to touch anything. I just move my hand, comes out. You can set these for the number of towels you want each time. I love that because I used to have to grab the paper towel, pull it. It will get all dirty when your hands are dirty. So that's why. So this is going to go right up here in that corner there. That's where this will go. This is also magnetic and you can hang it. Now, what am I raving on about? This is $15. The one I returned was almost 45 or something. But this fits all sizes of gloves. This is just made better. And then what they did was in their design, the sides can be pushed in if you chose to, if you were to put a smaller box in there. It just made more sense. I bought 2 of them. Reason being is at the front of the shop, when people drop off their bikes, I don't accept any bike until I review it. It takes about 5 minutes or so to check everything that you can see real quickly to kind of give the customer an idea of what the project is going to cost. I prefer to do that before the customer leaves so that when the customer comes back, the expectation is already set when they come to pick up their bikes. So I decided I'm going to put one of these near the front of the door. I have a shelf there that holds stuff and it is metal. So this will just clamp on the side. These are also designed with holes where you don't see them here because they have the glove in there, but there are holes in the back to where you can mount them with a screw. So in here, they will be mounted in that corner on the wall right there. So I won't be using the magnetic feature here, but on the other side I will. So that's the first example I wanted to use. Don't look at things based on what they cost. Look at what function they're going to give you. Are they going to fulfill the need that you have? Because before I purchase anything for any reason, there must be a need that it is meeting. I'm not sold by a commercial being run to say, oh, you got to buy this. No, there's got to be some need I'm filling before I buy something because I don't like to hoard. It needs to have a reason, a place that it's going to go before I purchase it. So these already have that purpose, and I made a list before I went there. I was in and out of that place. I bought like 5 different items. I was in and out in about probably 10 minutes. I'm going to show you some of the other ones. This is a paper towel holder that I'm going to put near the door. It's magnetic. It's going to go on the same shelf to hold paper towel, because I literally have a paper towel lying down in one of the shelves, taking up valuable space. So this is going to go on the side of the shelf, outside of the inner space. And maybe at some point, if you're interested in seeing the entire layout of the shop, maybe I'll do a video about that later. But to summarize, there are people online who have made videos about a car like a McLaren that has dashboard pieces cracking off. Those are just ultra expensive cars. And they need so much maintenance. Just because it costs a lot of money, a Honda is more durable in terms of dependability than a McLaren. And I'm sure the people buying them don't buy them for dependability, but in my brain, it does not make sense to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on a vehicle that breaks down every time you sneeze, so to speak. What is the point? I mean, if you have all the money in the world, there's got to be better uses for it. I've always been of the ilk that if I'm spending more, I should be getting better. I should be getting something better, not just aesthetics. That's just the way I roll. So if it's not going to perform and it's going to be a hassle, even if it were cheaper, I'm not going to buy it. And that's why I'm making this video. So when you're going out there looking for stuff to fulfill whatever purpose you have in your shop or whatever you're doing, look at the thing you're buying and make sure, is it going to fill that need? Is it going to perform? So that basically, when I put this in this thing and put it on the wall, it's just going to be there. I don't have to hassle with it when I'm ready to get the gloves out. It's going to encourage me to use it. That's what it comes down to. Because we have a lot in the Western world, a lot of people, especially here in North America, I have a lot of customers that will come. I may have mentioned it before. Oh, what does it cost to do a tune-up? And then they'll say, well, I've had the bike for like 10 years. Some of them don't even remember how long they've had the bike. But when they bring it, you can tell. It's got cobwebs, it's been sitting, whatever. And all the hubs are dirty where the grease has liquefied and dust has attached itself to it. It's a sign that tells us we got to go ahead and clean those bearings and get new grease in there. So when you start to tell them that, it's going to take 4 to 6 hours to get this bike fully restored, so to speak, mechanically. That's more than what I paid for the bike. And in my mind, I'm like, I don't care. I told one customer, I said, take the amount I'm charging you, divided by 15 years. That's what you should have been spending every year. So that's one way to look at it. But everyone here wants to buy new. And it's not just about bicycles. Same thing with cars. Instead of fixing their old cars. I mean, at some point, if the wheels are falling off of a car and it's just not practical, it's not going to be dependable even after you put that money in it, yeah, it's time to let it go. But generally here, there are people that will return a car to the dealer, especially the ones that go to the dealership for service, get talked into making a purchase when all they had to do was spend maybe $1,000 or so to fix some major failure. They have no car note, nothing. And it's, you can get into this new car and blah, blah, blah. Then you start all over. That does not even make any kind of sense. Why would you listen to a salesperson help you make a decision that benefits them more than it does you? But because a lot of people here equate driving a new car as a status. If you are defined by the car you drive, you got some big issues. You got to figure out who you are. And so I wanted to make this video just to say that. Share your experiences in the comments, please. I will read all of them, because don't base what you buy on the price. Base it on the function and whether it works, period. Because it's going to be all over the map, as this experience shows. $15 outperform the $40 stainless steel, so to speak. These are powder coated. They're not going anywhere. This box is going to sit in there. And it's designed better to hold all sizes of gloves in the boxes. Because I get the gloves when they're on sale for the shop, because I don't work without protecting my hands. Okay? To that effect, let nothing stop you from getting your K's in.